The economic news today is every bit as disastrous as we expected. Unemployment up a full percentage point in 1 month. That's an extra 100,000 people joining the jobless queues, but 600,000 jobs actually went missing, and something like 6 million Australians are now on JobKeeper payments. So at least half of the entire workforce in this country is on some kind of welfare right now. Let me repeat that. More than half the entire workforce of 13 million people is on some sort of payment to tide them over during a period without a job or when their employer can't pay them. Now, some people don't seem to understand how dire this is. People, and it's true, they tend to be people in secure employment, such as government-funded jobs. Some seem to think we should bunker down in lockdown forever. We've flattened the curve. Some states have just a handful or less of active cases going at the moment. We've got the coronavirus pandemic under control, and we simply must start to open up the country with some enthusiasm. People's livelihoods and the future of this country are at stake. It's all in the hands of the states at the moment, and none of them are excelling, but it is a mixed bag. The Labor Premier of Queensland, Annastacia Palaszczuk, deserves a tick. She's not only opening pubs and restaurants for up to 10 people, she's doubled that to 20 for regional areas. That's a good start. I've been critical of the Liberal Premier of New South Wales, Gladys Berejiklian, but she's taken a step forward too, opening restaurants and pubs for up to 10 customers from tomorrow. Now, sure, 10 won't work for many establishments, but it's a start. Then we can move up to perhaps 10 per room or higher numbers for larger venues. We might need to hasten slowly, but we do need to hasten. The other crucial bit of leadership from Berejiklian today is her criticism of closed interstate borders. We've got our international borders shut. That remains vital, of course. We need to open up our country behind that shield, and the New South Wales Premier is taking up that cause. And this is where the Liberal Premier of South Australia is dragging the chain, along with his West Australian colleague from the Labor Party. In a state where unemployment is the highest in the country, it's over 7% in South Australia, and there's only one active coronavirus case. This is a state that relies on the rest of the country for adequate funding and defence deals and all the rest of it. Well, not only won't Stephen Marshall open his borders, he won't even let his AFL teams fly in and out to get the national competition up and running.
We thought that it was an unacceptable risk to have players flying in and flying out, getting involved in contact sport. We don't want to do anything to undermine the fantastic position that we have here in South Australia at the moment.
This is selfish and it's over the top. Any medical advice will tell you that the surest way to keep the virus out is not to let anyone in. But the Premier's role is to weigh up all the factors, what's best for the community, for livelihoods and for the economy. And that is not bunkering down forever and turning your back on the rest of the country. One of the main reasons to get the AFL and NRL up and running is because so many jobs hang off them, directly and indirectly, and because they provide so much joy for the public, some semblance of normality. But also because if they travel around, these professional sports people travel around the country with their elite levels of isolation and testing and healthcare, they are the perfect test case, the ideal trailblazers for reopening those borders more widely. How long does South Australia and Western Australia, and for that matter, think they can just cut themselves off from the rest of the country? Along with Victoria and its troglodyte position on schools, these decisions are holding back a nation that needs to carefully but enthusiastically reawaken. To get those jobless numbers down, to get the country moving again, we need the National Cabinet tomorrow to listen a bit more to Berejiklian and Palaszczuk and a bit less to Andrews and Marshall.